This is Five Nights at Freddy's 101. No theories, just the basics. Moving forward, these videos will be designed to help new fans understand the convoluted lore contained within the FNaF universe and offer old or returning fans a reference to their theories.
We are not imposing our own biases as we discuss this game. We have designed this series to allow viewers to make their own assumptions and theories. This video will be presenting lore as it was originally introduced when the game was released and does not take into account information in later installments.
In Five Nights at Freddy's, you play as a security guard recently hired to work overnight shifts for a rundown restaurant known as Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. The pizzeria contains 5 mascots known as Chica, Bonnie, Freddy, Foxy, and a more mysterious mascot at this time, under the name of Yellow Bear. This character later in the series would be famously known as Golden Freddy.
These mascots are actually animatronics designed to entertain children during business hours. At night, these animatronics become aggressive, and it is the night guard's goal to survive each night until 6 a.m. using a limited amount of electricity to control cameras and doors. There is no explanation as to why electricity is required to keep a door closed or why the player returns to the job site each night. These are simply mechanics of the game.
Chica, Bonnie, and Freddy share one stage. Foxy is alone at Pirate Cove, and Yellow Bear does not have a stage at all. Throughout the game's nights, Bonnie and Chica are the most active, appearing at the right and left sides of the security room entrances. Foxy makes an appearance when the security guard does not pay close enough attention to the monitors pointed at Pirate Cove. Freddy is more active later on in the game, and progressively gets more aggressive as you approach Night 5. His movement is indicated by a very distinct laugh as he makes his way to the security office. The whereabouts of Yellow Bear within the pizzeria is unknown. This apparition appears in the office at random and will disappear as long as the night guard does not stare too long at the entity. It is important to note, all animatronics contain an endoskeleton, acting as the internal structure which holds the mascots up.
At the start of each night, the player receives pre-recorded phone messages from a character the fandom has very creatively named Phone Guy, who we quickly discover is a former night guard. As the nights progress, Phone Guy provides insight on the history of Freddy Fazbear's and gives survival tips on how to avoid being stuffed into an animatronic suit. Phone Guy confirms this is the security guard's first night working at the pizzeria. He also talks about how he himself is finishing up his last week as an employee at Fazbear's. He mentions that the animatronics have a free roaming mode at night and get a bit quirky at this time. We also know from the calls that the company is at least 20 years old, as the animatronics have been singing the
same stupid songs for 20 years.
Phone Guy refers to an event called the Bite of 87, followed by the mention of an individual living without a frontal lobe as a consequence of this event. Phone Guy believes that the animatronics are trying to break in because they see night guards as an endoskeleton without a costume, which is against the rules. In contrast, he believes that the animatronics may try to stuff an endoskeleton into the night guard if they perceive him as an empty suit.
As the nights progress, Phone Guy becomes increasingly intrigued with your ability to survive, stating,
most people don't last this long.
He insists that previous night guards didn't die, they just
move on to other things by now. I'm not implying that they died.
Yeah, right. On night 4, you can overhear the animatronics break into Phone Guy's office and presumably kill him. On the 5th night, the phone call you receive is not from Phone Guy, but from another entity speaking gibberish over the recorded call. Based on the comment from Phone Guy, we can assume that this game takes place sometime in the late 20th century after 1987. And, according to the paycheck, once Night 5 is completed and it reaches 6 a.m., our protagonist in question is confirmed to be named Mike Schmidt.
After completing Night 5, you are provided an opportunity to try and survive another night. At the end of Night 6, an overtime paycheck is presented stating Mike Schmidt is Employee of the Month. The custom night is the 7th and final playable night and is unlocked after beating Night 6. It allows the player to change the difficulty of the animatronics to any number that they wish, ranging from 0 to 20. After completing this night, the player will receive a pink termination slip for tampering with animatronics, general unprofessionalism, and, strangely enough, odor. As mentioned briefly before, Yellow Bear is a random encounter. Typically, he will appear in your office as a specter, disappearing only if you look at your monitor screen. Consequently, Yellow Bear will jump scare you and crash your game if you do not look away quickly enough. His laugh is similar to Freddy's, except that it is played at a different speed. When the custom night difficulty is set to 1987, it will immediately cause a Yellow Bear death screen. When this happens, the game will crash.
Upon reversing and cleaning up the audio of the Night 5 phone call, the entity in question seems to be reading a snippet from Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. I hope I pronounced that right.
Me too.
Interestingly enough, this text recounts an Indian Hindu monk's life and his encounters with spiritual figures of the Eastern and the Western world. When the cameras are left up for too long, wheezing may sound from behind computer monitors, indicating that either Chica or Bonnie have entered the night guard's office and are waiting for the monitor to be lowered so they may jump scare you. Wait too long, however, and they will lower the screen themselves. Pots and pans can sometimes be heard rattling when Chica goes into the kitchen, which interestingly has no camera. Circus music will play intermittently from somewhere within the depths of the pizzeria. If the player fails to reach 6 a.m. and is jump scared by either Chica, Bonnie, Freddy, or Foxy, an image will appear depicting a hollowed out Freddy mascot suit in the parts and service room with two human eyes sitting atop the snout. There is a very small chance the game over screen will trigger a Yellow Bear jump scare. Hey, that rhymes. Rarely, text reading "It's me" will flicker on screen with alternating images of Bonnie and Freddy.
The out of order sign at Pirate Cove will be replaced with a different sign reading "It's me." This can only occur if Foxy is not in Pirate Cove at that time.
The Let's Party poster in the West Hall corner will change to an image of Freddy tearing off his head. Alternatively, the poster will change to a close-up of Yellow Bear, which will trigger a child's laugh once seen over the camera. Yellow Bear will appear in the office immediately afterwards.
The posters in the East Hall may change to depict faces of crying children. The posters from the wall might also vanish completely and be replaced with writing on the walls reading, "It's me."
Rarely, when the player returns to the title screen, a still image of Bonnie will appear. After a few seconds, the player will be sent to the title screen proper.
Over the course of all playable nights, the rules for safety sign in Cam 4B will occasionally change to a newspaper article at random. There are 4 different papers that have the possibility of appearing for the player, and upon arranging them in a certain order, a short narrative can be read. Article 1 states that on the night of June 26th, 2 children had been lured by someone dressed as a company mascot. Police captured the suspect, but bodies were never found. Article 2 continues, linking 3 more children disappearances to the incident at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. This causes families to be hesitant to return to the establishment and force the company to make a statement, "It's a tragedy."
Article 3 reports blood and mucus found around the eyes and mouths of the animatronic suits. This has caused the health department to threaten its shutdown. Article 4 takes place years after the incident, announcing the official closing of the pizzeria. Companies refuse to buy the establishment due to its dark past. The CEO makes a final statement. These characters will live on. In the hearts of kids, these characters will live on.
Lastly, but certainly not least, if the player clicks on Freddy Fazbear's nose in the Celebrate poster located in the night guard's office, it will emit an adorable honk sound.
Honka.
Ew, what the fuck? With that, thanks so much for watching, guys. We're gonna be uploading a lot more of these videos in the future. We're very passionate about Five Nights at Freddy's. We've been in the fandom for nearly 10 years now. We hope that this series eventually helps you with any theories or formulations that you or anyone you know want to make. Let us know in the comments down below if you want us to make anything in specific. Otherwise, stay tuned.
Peace out.
You can't even say that normal.